Florida 82, Miami 68. Florida covers the spread ever so slightly. I believe they're 9.5 point favorites going into this game. Um, I feel like this was the best Florida performance of the season so far. The front court kind of dominated the game. You got you got like not the greatest Boogie Flan Xavier Lee performance. Uh, that's starting to become like an evergreen statement, it feels like. And you still cover the spread pretty handily here, or excuse me, ever so slightly, which I think is a big deal, especially in a game against a Miami team that has some talent. Obviously, they're a work in progress, but they're a lot better than they were last year. They're on the rise, and Jay Lucas that I know you enjoy in terms of as a coach. What did you see from both Miami and Florida in this game?
Miami's in year one of a rebuild, and Florida can beat you by double digits when they don't shoot that great. Or their team shot 46%, but the backcourt gave you nothing. I mean, 13 points on 17 shots, three made field goals between Boogie Flanning, Xavier and Lee. But I'm gonna dive into them in a second. But basically, just hey, Florida is good. They need to be great with those two guys having to give you something. But Condon, Hauk, Chinley. I mean, 19, 17, 16, all of them basically shot 60% from the field, it looked like. And they just dominated. The front court dominated Miami. And you talked about it in the preview about like, you're not a really believer in Renault. And he had 22, but on 23 shots, he was 8 of 23. So it's just like, if you're going to get 22, make him shoot more field goals than points. And that's what happened with Miami. And then Donaldson had 11 points on 4 of 16. Florida's defense swarmed Miami. The game was never close, really. Like I think the last 12 minutes of the game, the lead was double digits the whole way. So it was like it would go from 10 to 16 to 14 to 16 to 10. And Miami never was threatening Florida in this. But I say all that to say I'm still like I like this Miami team for year one progression under Jay Lucas because they were just so bad last year that you have some promising pieces. They're not there yet to be the top 10 team in the country, and now it's going to take a while. But good win by Florida and a learning experience for Miami.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there's a lot that a Miami can take away from this game, right? Like at the end of the day, this team isn't going to compete in the ACC. I'm not even fully sure I would refer to them as like a tournament team. I don't know where you kind of fall on that one, but I mean, overall, I think this team is is in a pure rebuild in a pure development state, right? And you have Shelton Henderson, who I think you're kind of building around. You didn't get a ton from him. 3 of 8 from the free throw line. Trey Donaldson 1 of 4 from three. Malik Renew shot 5 threes. I don't know if that was by accident. Like I don't know if that should happen again. But I feel like there's a good amount of takeaways. This Miami team can check. Like they're going to play defense. And I think that's one thing. Like whether it's Miami or the whole ACC should know about them.
Yeah, and one thing though, the ACC and the NCAA needs to know about as a guy that we need to talk about is Salah Altuntas, and he again, that's our guy Dion. He again had 4 fouls in 9 minutes in this game, and now that brings us and 0 points. So now that brings his totals to 0 points this season and 14 fouls in what 4 games. So he averages 3.5 fouls a game in 8 minutes a game, and this is a stat that I just want to keep. We have to check in every game for Miami. Did he foul out? Did he score? Because the answer is he probably did foul out and he probably did not score. So this is somebody we need to watch for the rest of the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's an insane thing to track at the moment. I'm not quite sure. Why is he still playing?
I don't know. I don't know. I've never seen anything like this. If obviously a lot of people don't watch Miami basketball, so like this is like a niche category I'm talking about that we're discussing. But 8 minutes first game, he had 0 fouls, probably the best game of his career against Jacksonville. Bethune-Cookman 10 minutes, 5 fouls. Stetson 8 minutes, 5 fouls. Florida 9 minutes, 4 fouls. That's just
What's
crazy.
interesting, he's not even attempting shots. He's attempted one shot all season, right? Like he's not even like attempting to get on the scoreboard. I feel like he's literally just out there in order to in order to foul.
They just have no depth. They have no depth and that or no talent in the depth, and that's why he's playing. And I know Miami fans are, all right, stop talking about it. But I'm sorry, that's just a stat that is fascinating to me. 14 fouls to 0 points in 4 games is crazy.
What's going on with the Florida backcourt? Uh,
Dude,
I mean, my opinion coming into the season was big step up for Xavier Lee. Um, I didn't think he'd be like this bad, but I definitely didn't think he'd beat Walter Clayton, right? Like it was a big, big, big step up. My Boogie Flan opinion is the same. Boogie Flan opinion's always been Arkansas got better after he stopped playing, like got hurt when he wasn't playing. That's a red flag to me. With
yeah.
all that being said, I'd never imagined they'd be like this.
Yeah, I mean it's valid and it's valid concerns. He 30 Boogie Flan shot 37.9% at Arkansas last year from the field. Currently for Florida, he's shooting 37.8% from the field. So he is on par to last season, but where he was decent at Arkansas and he has not been for Florida is 3-point shooting. He shot 34% from three last year at Arkansas, which is all right. And this year he's shooting 12.5%, 2 of 16 and free throws. He's already missed seven this year, 15 to 22. He missed 11 all last year and shot 83%. So the shot's not there for him. That is concerning because if he's not getting it going, then you go to Xavier Lee, who's shooting, I think, 17% from three every game. Every time I look at his stat line, it's always looks like a calendar date, like 1 of 7. And it's bad, dude. It's bad. And I like Xavier Lee. Like he's so flashy and he's so quick with the rock. Like I have stock in him. The stock is not doing well in the market right now. We're in a bearish market, and the stock market holding Xavier Lee stock. It's not good. Shooting 3 for 12 every game, 25%. It's tough for me to defend, but the 5 assists to only 2 turnovers, like it's really good facilitator. Like he's doing everything else, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and a 2-to-1 assist turnover ratio. Just make your shots, baby. Make your shots. Like they're talented, and it's it is a concern after 4 games that it's not improving. But I'm not going to do the panic button yet. I'm not going to sell my stock. I'm just going to have diamond hands and hold it. And what's going to happen, Dion, is he's going to explode against my Duke Blue Devils. And then we're going to have to talk about this. And I'm like, I told you, it just happened at the worst time for me.
I mean, he's shooting 6 to 17% from three this year.
Yeah,
Boogie shooting 12%. I mean, man, like, I mean this with all due respect, like, that's just horrific.
it's awful.
That's
It's awful.
horrific. I believe Boogie, the rumored number he got is like what, like $6 or $7 million to return to Florida.
Wow. Really? I did not see. I'm not in tune with
That
that.
might be way too high.
I,
Never, never, never quote me on stuff like that. I'm gonna Google it, but never quote me on stuff like that. Like that might be way too high. Two
look,
million. Okay. Yeah, like I said, way too high. But two million to go out there and shoot 12% is still crazy. You have to assume Xavier Lee's got to be in the same ballpark to go out there and shoot 17%. I know Boogie's a guy like that thought he was an NBA dude. Brother, I said the same thing about Todd Pettiford. Unpack the bags, get comfortable. If you need to like move out of the apartment you're in because you thought you'd only be there for a few months, get a condo, like you because you're gonna be there for a few years.
yeah, Boogie, he's struggling offensively, and one thing he's also struggling with is defensively. Guys are shooting 58% against him, 19 of 33 on the year when guarded by Boogie Flan via synergy. So, it's not that's barbecue chicken on the other side of things where you don't want that to happen. And Xavier Lee has been okay in that category. 32% against him, 8 of 25. So he's at average is the rating for him, but below average for Boogie Flan as guys are shooting 58% from the field when guarded by him. So that's another match. Like, obviously, I think they play like Merrimack or something after this game or next game. Yeah, Merrimack, then TCU, then Duke. That is where, like, hey, can they step up for the Duke game and play to the potential of why Florida went after both of them to begin with? Like, can they be those guys against a Duke team, or are they going to struggle because it's Duke UConn back to back for this Florida Gators team? And right now, it isn't my cause of concern because though they're 10th in the country, their guard play is holding them back.
Are they still going to be 10th in the country? Are we like, because I feel like this was their best performance of the year. So, like, I actually don't want to take anything away from them, but do you think the guard play was so bad that people are going to hop off the bandwagon a little bit?
No, I mean I think they'll stay what ninth or tenth when the stuff come out. Like when they play Duke, they'll be top 10 in the country. They won't slide because, like I said, they covered this spread and they were never threatened in this game. It's
Yeah.
just cause a concern for the guard play continue to be bad offensively. Boogie Flan's getting scored on defensively, but Conan and Hauk have been outstanding for them. I know Hauk fouled out in this game. A lot of fouls in that game, by the way. I think two or three guys fouled out, and then Miami had like four guys with four. Like
Yeah.
Reyno fouled out, Henderson had four, and then two guys off the bench. One who we already alluded to, Aluntas, he had four, and yeah, Condon and Chinley had five. Just a lot of fouls in that game. But Condon, Hauk, and Chinley have been good for them. They just need better play from their backcourt. Even give us something off the bench from the backcourt. Like that'd be a nice spark if you can't get it going with your two starters. Maybe somebody come off the bench.
Yeah. I mean, well, do you think there's a world either guard comes off the bench? I feel like Boogie makes a little bit more fun sense than Xavier does.
Yeah, and I said that, and Clavsar did have 15, so ignore that. But like when they are bad, like have him step up, and he played 26 minutes, had 15 points. So like that's promising for Florida to where yeah, this might be a conversation. Like say they go into the Duke game, I don't think they'll make any changes for the Duke game, but if they do, Boogie Flan struggles, Xavier Lee struggles. The next game's UConn, like a week later. Maybe they make a lineup change. Like, hey, we just cannot start sluggish in the backcourt. So maybe Clavsar steps in and starts, and then Boogie Flan maybe might be a comfortable guy coming off the bench as a microwave scorer once the
Yeah.
game has a flow to it.
I don't hate that. I mean, I feel like that worked for what it's worth for Arkansas last year too, right? Like the best version of them, like Boogie Fan either wasn't playing or he was kind of coming off the bench, or I think there was a couple games where he had a minutes restriction. And I'm not trying to be rude, but like that's just the God honest truth. Like those are the best versions of Arkansas, and having two guards that are ball stoppers really, really shuts down an offense. But I thought Florida looked good, all things considered. They were never daunted in this game, to take a Signetti quote. Last thing on the game, is there anything from this game that you take away and say we should worry about that as like a Duke fan?
Their front court, just their front court being athletic. Cam Boozer obviously is really talented, but I worry about like Gongba Malik Brown foul situation. The last time they played a really talented back or front court was Texas, or I say talented, but a physical Division I front court, SEC front court, and Gongba and Malik Brown fouled out with 5 minutes to go in the game, so Cam Boozer had to play the five. So Condon and Houck Chinley can get Duke in foul trouble. That is the one thing I'm worried about, and but the guard play, maybe they're like sleepwalking too, and that can worry me that they've been so bad that they just explode against Duke. But guard play doesn't scare me. That just the potential nightmare of them waking up a sleeping giant scares me. But their front court for sure, Condon, Houck, and Chinley, just guys that can hoop.
Okay. Okay. You think with that's going to be Cam Boozer's toughest challenge, right? Like, how do you think he steps up to it?
I think it's going to be one of his toughest challenges just because they're athletic. They're big and athletic and on both ends. And so I think he's so strong. Like he's not the thing that benefits Cam is he's so strong. He's not fast. So
Mhm.
he's always under control that like you can't speed him up. He has one speed and he's almost like the Terminator. He just keeps walking and then pushes you out of the way, finishes. And so he has that going for him against this team. But if he's going against Condon, you got to worry about Houck or Chinley coming over for shot blocking. Like,
Yeah.
and then vice versa. If Chinley's on him, Condon Houck can leave their man and come and contest as a help side shot blocker. So those are things you got to look for when they play Duke.
I thought it was a great game from Florida. I think this is the best front court in the country. If they can get anything out of the guard play. I get it. Gator boys stay hot. Like I know I was big on like the Gator boys aren't what they were last year, so on and so forth. And everybody was kind of like, no, this is a Final Four team again. They are. They just have to get anything out of the guard play. Like I was wrong about that. I think this team's phenomenal. To get a performance like this, and like I said, your lead two guards are shooting 17 and 12% from three. Um, if they can push that to 30, they got smoke for Duke, UConn, and anybody else in the country. We'll be doing Florida recaps all year. For J-Man, I'm Dion. Like, comment, and subscribe.